So let's talk about the letter Alif and some of the common mistakes that beginners make when they are first attempting to script this letter. Now, there are a number of requirements for this to be correct, and we're going to get started with the number one requirement, which is the angle at which we hold the pen. So if you have a look at this angle over here, it looks very close to 45 degrees. Now that is not the correct angle for scripting the thuluth script. Okay, so this is incorrect. The angle at which we script the thuluth script, or most of the letters in the thuluth script, is a 70-degree angle. Okay, so that's the angle at which we should be holding the qalam at. So instead of starting off like this, the alif should be starting off at this angle right over here. Okay, so that's the difference. Now the next question we should ask is, does our alif come down at an angle or does it come down perfectly vertically? So in this case, this looks quite vertical, okay? And that is incorrect because the alif does slant slightly towards the right as it comes down, okay? Now this slant isn't a lot, and I'm going to give you a guideline for this a little bit later in this video, but it does slant slightly towards the right as it descends downwards. Now, what is the shape of the alif? Is it a curved stroke or is it a linear stroke? So the answer is that it's a bit of both. The initial part of alif, so if we were to split the letter alif into 3 segments, the alif is a linear stroke for 2/3 of the way, and then the last third is a curved part of the alif, which actually just comes downwards. So over here we see that the alif is linear at first, but it's only linear for about halfway and then it starts to curve. So it starts to curve a little bit too soon. And we also see that the alif is curving towards the left-hand side, and the alif never really goes towards the left. What it does is that it corrects that slant and becomes sort of vertical, so it just goes downwards. Okay, so considering all of these points, let's go ahead and construct the stem of the alif the way it should be. So we're going to keep the pen at that 70-degree angle. We're going to come down at a bit of an angle, and it's going to be straight for 2/3 of the way, and then for the last third we're just dipping down like this. Now let's go ahead and talk about the hilya of the letter alif, or the taj. There are many different names for this shape, essentially this shape that comes out from the top of the alif, and also other letters in the thuluth script. So the first consideration we should have is, where does the hilya start? Does it start where the alif starts, or does it start at a bit of an offset? And the answer is that it starts at a bit of an offset. So it should be starting right around here. So it starts a little bit higher, a little bit towards the left-hand side. So we're looking at this sort of a starting point here. And now essentially what we're doing is, when we come down to script the hilya, it should overlap the top part of the alif and basically keep going. So the length of this hilya is around 2 nuqtas. Now, the hilyas range in size and shape depending on which letter it is. So this specific hilya we are talking about is for the alif, and also for other stem letters like the lam. So let's go ahead and add a hilya to this alif here as well. We're going to start off a little bit higher, a little bit towards the left-hand side, and we're going to come down, overlap this top part of the alif, and we're going to keep on going for a distance of 2 nuqtas. Now let's go ahead and add the last part of the hilya, which is the tip. Now as a beginner, I would recommend that you just go ahead and sketch this in. There is a way to do this with the qalam, and it is an advanced technique. And when you are learning the thuluth script, it is something that you can practice on the go. So for now, I'm going to show you the shape of this tip so you have a better idea. And what we're doing here is we are curving inwards from the outside of the letter, and this side over here, it doesn't curve in the way this one does. Now there's also a little bit of open space over here, so we're not going right into the letter like this. Okay, it does go upwards. So you can see that the entire shape of the hilya is actually quite steep. The angle of the hilya is very close to the angle of the alif itself. It's just a slight offset. So a lot of beginners would go ahead and bring the hilya outright towards the right-hand side. That is incorrect for letters like the alif and the lam. The hilya does come downwards quite steeply, and the angle is very close to that of the actual stem of the letter. Now, after we've done the bottom part of the hilya, we can go ahead and smooth out the top as well. There is a bit of an offset here as well, naturally. So we'll just make sure that it is lined up nicely. Now, finally, I did say I was going to give you a guideline on how much the alif slants towards the right-hand side as it comes down. So when the alif is all said and done, and we connect the rightmost point of the hilya to the rightmost point of the alif, which is right over here, this should be a perfectly vertical line. So the hilya does come out by about half a nuqta. So the entire alif shifts by about half a nuqta as it comes down before it curves downwards. Okay? And that's what we have for the letter alif. Hopefully you found this video helpful. Until next time, take care and assalamu alaikum. If you found this video helpful and you're ready to start learning Arabic calligraphy more seriously, I'd love to invite you to join my Qalam Academy's All Access Pass. Right now, there is a limited time offer where you can get 2 full years for the price of one at 50% off, just $249 for everything. If you're wondering where to start, I always recommend beginning with the Master the Qalam program. It's a structured 35-week course focused on the Thuluth script, and it includes weekly practice sheets, clear step-by-step lessons, and even personalized feedback on your work. It's the foundation for everything else I teach. From there, you can explore any path that speaks to you. Want something more decorative and free-flowing? The Diwani Script Mastery course is a great option for that, especially for beginners. Interested in learning digitally? The Procreate Calligraphy course includes custom brushes, stamp tools, guided exercises, and works on both iPad and iPhone. If you're thinking long-term, the Creative Calligrapher program teaches you how to turn art into products, create prints, digitize your work, and even start selling it. There's also a library of composition vector sheets in Thuluth, Diwani, Farsi, and Kufi to help you build professional-looking layouts, and our grand vector collection featuring over 100 pre-made calligraphy designs you can study or use in your own creative projects. And if you are working with kids, there's even an Arabic handwriting course for children with fun worksheets and video guidance designed for young learners. So whether you're focused on traditional scripting, digital creativity, or building something professional, this pass gives you everything you need and the freedom to learn at your own pace. But just a heads up, this 2-for-1 offer won't be around for long. So if this feels like the right next step, just tap the link on my bio or click on the link below this video, and I hope to see you inside.